Hey, my friend, this video is about education and your lack of it. So let's get on with it. Education. Now you probably think that I'm talking about going out and getting a college degree or another degree or something to that degree, whatever it may be. But poet and didn't know it. But anyway, no, I'm actually just talking about and trying to suggest that you do education and continuing education, no matter what it is, but beyond your formal education. If you have some kind of formal degree, if you don't, no big deal. But again, it's about continuing education. And I think that that is by far the biggest mistake that people make in their lives. Similar to my story. Let's see here, it's about my early 40s really, basically, that I kind of figured this out. I went through pharmacy school. If you're not familiar with pharmacy school, it's very similar to medical school. It's a very difficult degree. Not to toot my own horn, I barely got through that. I went by the mantra of C for pharmacy school, so I got my way through it. Yes, it's a difficult degree. When I got done, I pretty much swore to myself that I would never read any more books. And that was the biggest freaking mistake that I made. And it wasn't really until I was, like I said, about in my early 40s, starting to get burned out in the 9-to-5 grind, killing myself for a huge corporation. And finally, of course, whether you call it a midlife crisis or whatever you want to call it, right? I figured out that that crap wasn't for me anymore. Didn't give it right up, right? I figured out a way to start a side hustle. You probably know some about my history. If you don't, then some of that will come out through in these videos. But I basically figured out a marketing angle and how to apply it to something that was already related to the pharmacy business, which I like to teach people anyway, and how to relate something to their history and their experience that they have if they don't have a major passion, right? But the main point is that, again, I figured out that was the biggest mistake that I ever made, was not continuing to educate myself the whole way along that path, right, of working 9-to-5 or really 9-to-9, whatever it was, right? When I think back on it, if I would have put some extra time, even just a little bit every week, into learning some other skill sets for those, how many every years, I think I finished pharmacy school when I was about, 25. So until my early 40s, I mean, that would have been a ton of education and expertise that I would have applied to something, in this case, marketing and the things that I do with my business, the affiliate marketing angles and teaching people to and launching programs. I would be way farther ahead. Again, I don't live in the past and don't want you to do that either, but I want to encourage you to really start working with more education and continuing your education, no matter what it is, whether you like to read books, YouTube videos that are educational, stuff that's actually filling this thing up and not nonsense that we find on social media all the time, or wasting your time on Netflix series and watching every episode until wee hours in the morning. Actually putting some education in your head, because it's going to pay off. I mean, dividends in the long run. And that's really the gist of this video and what I wanted to portray and how important it is. And again, I know some of these things sometimes are scary, right? And you don't want to die. You're worried about getting off into something that you just can't do and that you're going to fail. I know failure is a big thing that people really, really get hung up on. And, I went through a lot of that. And I mean, probably the best advice I could say is really don't fear failure. Fear the regret that you would have later in life. That's so much more impactful. If you get all the way through the end of your life, you're going to have those regrets that you didn't at least try. And I promise, if you try and you keep trying, you fail forward, things will change and doors will open and everything will start happening for you. Especially, like I said, when you're opening books, listening to audios, doing these things to help you further your education. And speaking of education, that's a lot of what we're doing right now. I've got a platform that's coming out where we're teaching aspiring entrepreneurs like yourself, no matter what level you're at, on different things, how to build an affiliate program or how to use your affiliate links. You don't know what that means, and that's stuff that we're teaching you, right? And even if you want to build a business like what I have, we're going to teach you all of these things to set you up for success. I just want to see people like you becoming more successful and transferring over from that 9-to-5 world and making other people rich and corporations rich to actually doing something for yourself and building upon that, leaving legacy for your family, for your next generations to take what you have and take it to even another level. That's what I'm about. That's what New Life Span's about. That's what Escape Plan Dad's about. That's our mission, right? Is to build you and others into the leaders that we know that you can become. Okay, so definitely invite you to check out some more information about what we're doing on the programs. Like I said, we're going to be launching a coaching program here very soon. You'll find links down in the description. If you're interested, like I said, we'll share more news as we get there. And really, I think that's all I have for this video. I will say in the next video, I'm going to start sharing a little bit more about the video, or not the videos, well, videos too, and some of the people that I follow and I think that are very, very value driven, as well as some of the books that really got me started. There's going to be maybe a top 5 books that I'll go through that if you, again, like to read or even listen to audios, because all of these are available in audios, I'll get that list and kind of give my pros and cons. There's really not any cons to any of them, honestly. They're all pros, because that starts you down that new path, those new doors opening and all that good stuff. So again, please subscribe to the channel too. Okay, that really helps this old dude out. And remember, you are never too old or too young, if you're watching this, to get started on the path of freedom. You just got to get started. Love you guys.